What is a deposit? I get asked this all the time. A deposit is consideration in the form of funds for your purchase and sale agreement. Your deal is not firm and binding without the deposit. In other words, when there's no deposit, there is no deal. The deposit forms a part of the agreement and is applied against your down payment at closing. These funds are not over and above the cost to purchase the property, unlike your closing costs. In terms of how much of a deposit should you present when offering, in the Toronto market, it's typically expected to see 5% of the total purchase price as your deposit. If you can do more, even up to 10%, particularly when competing with other buyers, do it. This will give you a competitive edge. It demonstrates a strong sign of good faith to the seller that you intend to close on the property. Can I write a personal check? No. No personal checks, no cash. Deposits must be presented in the form of a bank draft or certified check. There's typically a small processing fee that your bank will charge you. When do I pay the deposit? Depending on how your offer is structured will determine when you have to submit your deposit should you successfully offer on the property. For instance, when in competition with other buyers for a property, you'll want to have your deposit herewith, meaning a copy of the issued bank draft or certified check is submitted at the same time as your offer. Remember when I said without the deposit there's no deal? So when a seller is reviewing 2 or 19 offers for their property, they're going to go with the highest, most firm offer with the deposit in hand. Because the deposit is an essential component to a successful offer, it's important to have access to that cash on hand so you're able to issue the deposit at your bank quickly. Your deposit can be structured to be delivered to the seller's agent upon acceptance of an offer. That gives you 24 hours to provide the deposit after your offer is accepted. This is how I'd structure a deposit under normal contract negotiations, just not in a competitive bid situation. You can make alternate arrangements if you have to wire funds to make your deposit. It just has to be structured that way in your deal. Where does the deposit go? Deposits are typically held by the listing brokerage in their real estate trust account. So the buyer issues the bank draft or certified check to the name of the listing brokerage, not to the seller directly. The deposit remains in the trust account until closing and is applied against your down payment. Please note that the deposit is insured up to $100,000 per claim under RECO's deposit insurance program, which offers you protection in the event of fraud, insolvency, or the misappropriation of funds. What happens to the deposit if the seller does not accept my offer? Simply return the draft or certified check to your bank to redeposit it into your account. Banks process this type of transaction all the time. What happens to my deposit if I have conditions in my offer, it's accepted, but I don't waive my conditions? I always remind my clients that they enter into an offer situation in good faith. When your offer is conditional and if something unforeseen is discovered either on a home inspection report or a status certificate that we didn't know about prior to making the offer, and that issue is something that you are unwilling to accept, or say the bank declines your financing request, then you do not firm up on your deal. The buyer and the seller then sign a mutual release and the deposit is returned to you without interest or deduction or delay. Call me if you have any questions. My contact details are in the description below. I'm Arlene Monzar, and I've been buying and selling Toronto real estate for clients since 2008.